It's your boy Stephen J. Walking in front of the camera is simply Steve. And we're talking about wrestling. WWE, WWF, AWA, UWF, WCW, ECW, maybe little Lucha Wrestling, TNA, NXT, whatever. That's what we doing today. So let's kick it right off. Last night was Monday Night Raw. Road to WrestleMania. Next pay-per-view is Fastlane.
2 weeks away. Fastlane.
On the scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give Raw a 5.
I'm giving it a 6.
My match of the night was Dolph Ziggler and Bray Wyatt, which I'm kind of confused and what direction the WWE is going into. After the Royal Rumble, you thought it was going to be Ryback and Rusev feuding, possibly seeing Ryback getting his first title. That's what was predicted everywhere, just about. Then all of a sudden, that didn't happen. They supposedly fired Ryback. And then Cena. Now you're going with John Cena and Rusev, which I still think is a ploy of the WWE to try to get John Cena over with the fans. Rusev is the most hated because the whole anti-USA thing. So let's bring our best hero, the face of the company, to go after him to win the title at Fastlane or WrestleMania, which I don't think he's going to beat John Cena at Fastlane. They're going to have a match at WrestleMania.
It'll probably, at Fastlane, it'll probably end in some kind of disqualification.
Exactly.
Or count out.
I think it's a ploy to them to get John Cena over with the fans. But knowing the universe, they may just start cheering for Rusev. I guarantee it. And if they do it, I'm going to love it. What else? I don't quite understand the Dolph Ziggler Bray Wyatt thing. They fought like twice now, and was it 3 times? I think twice.
Last Monday and this Monday.
And both matches were good. Mm-hmm. Bray came out with the win on both.
Dolph was looking stronger. No.
It was a good match. They stole the show. But my confusion is Bray sounds like he's calling out The Undertaker. He may very well be calling out Sheamus, seeing as though that he's coming back. Who knows? But sounds like, and everyone's thinking he's calling out The Undertaker, which again, I must say, would be stupid, because why would I want to see Bray Wyatt face The Undertaker? Well, Bray is darkness and whatever, but there's no excitement to him.
Well, again, I had to think about this long and hard, and I'm like, Bray Wyatt and
you should be thinking about trying to find a job if you're thinking about wrestling long and hard.
It's an expression. I'm not really thinking about it long and hard.
So you're lying to the people then.
Do you really think about things long and hard when you talk about wrestling? You say, "Oh, I had to watch this video and think about it." I had to really think about it. That's what
I never say that.
Yes, you do.
You never said that.
You have said it before. Well,
anyway, if I'm thinking about something, I'm actually thinking about it, but I ain't thinking about it long and hard. Well, I got other things I need to do. I ain't thinking about it long and hard. I may think about it, right. Like the whole Undertaker. That took all the way about 2-3 minutes.
Alright, so
how long did you think about it?
Well, it took about 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Then what'd you do?
And then I got back to doing what I needed to do.
Which was what?
Calling and checking up on people.
Who? Yo, he's looking for a job again. So anybody out there in the Central Florida area, close to Apopka, Simply Steve is looking for a job. He thinks long and hard about things. So if you're looking for a thinker who's long and hard, Simply Steve, y'all.
Anyway, the more I thought about it,
Simply Steve. Full time?
I thought that the match didn't make no sense for what would be the purpose.
Part time?
Bray Wyatt.
Overtime?
Bray Wyatt going after The Undertaker.
Time and a half?
But
we'll work on Sundays. We'll work early in the morning. Overnight.
But anyway, the more I thought about it, it's like, I guess he would try his goal would probably be to take out The Undertaker, to be the ultimate dark force, whatever like that, or something like that.
Even if that's the case, it's still stupid.
But then again, then there's that thing where you always say where Take is old and he can't handle matches.
Case in point, he had to get rushed to the hospital.
Yeah.
After his match with Brock.
That was the first time.
No, it's not.
Yes, it was.
Case in point, he was hurt and injured after his match with who did he fight before Brock? Was it Triple H?
The first one he fought before Brock was CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk. He
go to the hospital. He was fine.
He was hurt. No, he was hurt.
He was on the Raw the next night about to fight the Shield.
He was hurt.
No, he wasn't. But anyway, the point I was trying to make is I had to do some. I had to look this up to make sure I was accurate about it. But
how long did that take?
That one took 10 minutes.
So now we up to 15 minutes. He thought long and hard about it for 5 minutes.
I was just the point. I was trying
to do some research for another 10 minutes.
The point I was trying to make is you always
Simply Steve, yo.
You always claim that Taker's old, he can't take a match or whatever like that. That's why he only wrestles one match a year. But we're worried about Sting facing Triple H at WrestleMania, but his last match was last year, January 26th.
So?
2014. So I'm pretty sure he can handle this match. Hulk Hogan's last match was in 2011, 5 years ago. He's 61. So that means his last match was when he was about 48, if not 48, 57.
Hulk Hogan's last match wasn't
2011.
No,
that's what he faced Sting in TNA, and that was it.
No, he was. I was about to say he wasn't. He was wrestling in TNA, so
yeah, I'm saying his last match was in TNA was 2011. After that, he took on some general manager role, and then Ric Flair, also his last match was against Sting, and that was in 2013, so about 2 years ago. And Ric Flair is 65, so he was 63. So those guys who are way older than The Undertaker can handle matches. I'm pretty sure Taker can go probably another 2 years before he's done.
But you're missing the point. The point is, as good as The Undertaker is, we love him. He's the only guy that pretty much stayed true character from day one. He's always been the dead man. I mean, I know he was the American bad, you know what, but he was still the dead man. Even when he had the mask on, he was the dead man. He stayed in true character. Sting, I can't say that. He's always been Sting, but he went from the Scorpion to the Crow. Hulk Hogan.
Once he went to the Crow, he stayed at the Crow.
So what? Listen to what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Hulk Hogan was the real American Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania. Then he went to Hollywood Hulk Hogan, so he changed his persona. John Cena, Doctor of Thugonomics. John Cena, hustle, loyalty, and respect. The Rock, I guess you could say Rocky Maivia, yes, no. Stone Cold, the Ringmaster, before he became Stone Cold. Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, before he became Triple H, or The Game. So the only thing The Undertaker had going for him was the streak. Everyone loved the streak. That's what he had going. That was the main event at WrestleMania. That's what. Hold on. When everyone is talking about WrestleMania, the only thing that we are looking for is The Undertaker. How do I know? Because non-wrestling fans hit me up on Facebook and was asking me, did The Undertaker win? They ain't asking about Hulk Hogan. They ain't asking about John Cena and The Rock. They ain't asking about any other match. But they wanted to know, is The Undertaker still defeated? They don't watch wrestling every Monday night, every other pay-per-view. They're not really wrestling fans. But they wanted to know if The Undertaker was still undefeated. That is what he had going for him. To the point that when he lost, as I stated before, it was all over the news, local media, national media, ESPN, Fox Sports, Comcast Sportsnet, all talking about WrestleMania. The Undertaker lost. Not that Daniel Bryan won the title. Not that John Cena did this. But The Undertaker finally lost. It was as if when Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas. It was as when Tyson bit the ear off of Evander Holyfield. Everybody was talking about it. So the only thing he had going was the streak. as great as an in-ring competitor he is, I love Hell's Gate, I love The Last Ride, I love the Tombstone, I love Old School, love all his moves, I love his swag and everything. But unfortunately, when he lost, that killed his career.
I wouldn't say that.
And it killed his career. And like I said, the only way that he could have possibly resurrected the Undertaker's career is if he would have won WrestleMania, and it would have been him and Brock
the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble, and he and Brock had a rematch.
I don't think
Brock having a title, it would have been a fitting end for the Undertaker to win it and then lose it the next night on Raw. Bam.
Okay, but I don't think after what happened to him last year, I don't think. Really think about it. Would you really put him back in there with him after what happened last year?
Is it Brock, or is his take is old and he can't handle the stuff? So you're gonna put him in there with a younger guy like Bray Wyatt, who's more intense than Brock. Brock got a few moves, but the fact is you put him in there with a young guy who doesn't match up well with the Undertaker because Take is slow. Brock is slow, so they matched up perfectly. But you putting Take in there with Bray Wyatt, again, as much as I like Bray Wyatt, I like his character, I like his mic skills, but the fact is, I don't want to see him go against the Undertaker. As a wrestling fan who's been a wrestling fan longer than you've been alive, go all the way back to the days of Bob Backlund when he was a champion, when he lost it to the Iron Sheik, to a superstar Billy Graham. Do you know him? What about Bob Backlund?
I sort of know Bob Backlund.
Okay, so I go all the way back there. I don't want to see him just as much as I didn't really want to see DDP in the Royal Rumble. You like and you look for the old school guys to come back and stuff like that. You really look for that. But I could have used some NXT guys. That would have been interesting. That would have been different. It's kind of like how the NBA did in the All-Star game every year. It used to be the NBA legends, they go play basketball, but then it got to the point where this game is boring. Yeah, there was a couple flashes of some good moves, behind the back pass, this, that, and the other, nice shots, whatever, shoot between the legs, whatever. But after a while, it was just like, okay, these guys are gassed after the first quarter. Then they finally brought the rookies in, and rookies from the first year versus the rookie of the second year. It got a little bit better. So, Undertaker, Bray Wyatt, no, not interested in it at all. Not interested at all. If it wasn't a scenario that I said him going up against Brock after winning the Royal Rumble sets up a perfect ending, a perfect comeback or whatever, that's perfect. It'll been 22-1. Still, he got the record, he beat him. But the fact is, a good comeback, it would have been Undertaker. Now, Bray, if he is calling out Undertaker, I don't want to see it. Again, I don't want to see Take. There's nothing there that draws me that I want to see Undertaker. Would I like to see him on Raw and say goodbye one last time? Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you, Taker. That's what I want to do. But him going against Bray Wyatt, no, I don't want to see it. It doesn't interest me at all because the streak is over. And the one thing that he had going for him was the streak. And without the streak,
at the end of the day, it's his decision whether he wants to come back and have this match with Brock Lesnar. I mean, Bray Wyatt. That's why, because I read that the message, yeah, they're cryptic. You could kind of tell they're toward the Undertaker, but just in case the Undertaker doesn't want to come back, then they can switch gear and go in there, go to somebody else.
Again,
who Bray Wyatt faced at WrestleMania, I don't know, but I would kind of say that WrestleMania kind of needs the Undertaker. I mean, do we really want to see Miz versus Miz at WrestleMania?
Well, no.
Do you really want to see Stardust versus Cody or versus Goldust at WrestleMania?
Okay, that's what it's boiling down to. That's what's gonna happen. The only match that interests me is I want to see Brock versus Roman Reigns. I don't want to see Brock versus Daniel Bryan. I want to see Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler, like Dolph Ziggler challenged him on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw it on Bleach Report the other day. It might end up being another triple threat.
But that'll be stupid.
Vince might change his mind
because,
but in the end, Roman Reigns will still win.
Hold on. I don't care. Here's why. And I was gonna bring this up later, but they're making me start to dislike Daniel Bryan. Because they're trying to push the Yes movement into WrestleMania. They're trying to recapture
Yesomania.
the allure. They're trying to recapture the magic from last year. And I don't think that you can recapture that last year, because who knew that after Daniel Bryan beat the Big Show that year, and he ran out of the ring, yes, up the thing, and then the next night on Raw, they was like, yes, and then they tagged him up with Kane, and people forgot about it. Then, as he was coming down to challenge John Cena, they were chanting a yes again, or whatever, because this guy was picking up some steam. It was like, okay, we got something here, let's move it on. He got hurt. And again, I'm sorry, he went out from May up until January. And I don't think that it's fair to the competitors like Dolph Ziggler that busted their butt and showed off, stole the show on multiple occasions, and for you to try to push Daniel Bryan back in the limelight, let him work his way back up instead of him coming out, I think I deserved it because what I did last year. What, he gonna come back 5 years later and say what I did back in 2013?
The Rock came back after 7 years.
So what? The Rock, please, you want to compare Daniel Bryan against The Rock?
No, but I'm just saying, you're saying Daniel Bryan, as popular as he is right now, with the yes, whether or not the yes movie, and he can come back and he can force.
He is popular because of a cliche.
He forced Vince McMahon to put him in that match.
He's popular because of a cliche. The Rock was more than a cliche, even though he had multiple cliches. The boy can wrestle. He put on a daggone show.
I'm just saying, they forced him into that match and he won because of the fans.
Who?
Daniel Bryan.
Okay, again, but
it looks like it's gonna happen.
They're trying to force the yes, and I still say that it's not like it was last year, and it's still not.
We got a preview of it last Monday, but I think that's as far as we'll get.
But again, you're pushing him out there, and he's, oh my God, he sucks at selling. When he got beat up when he was the first match at the beginning of the night, and he was trying to get over and tag Roman Reigns, and he was just
looked like he was talking up.
No, he was crawling. Listen, he was trying to attempt that. I'm trying to make, and I'm like,
no, I mean, like whenever he goes like this, like he's
okay,
trying to, like,
but that was so stupid because he's crawling. That's what he was doing. And I'm like, come on, Dan, you're just I called him John Cena at that point because he just wasn't selling. That whole crawl shaking his head was just as bad as John Cena sells the curb stomp. Just as bad as John Cena sells his movies. It just wasn't selling at all. So, and in other case in point, well, it's kind of like when Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and Dean got thrown into the rope and he went through the rope, came back with a nice clothesline. Yo, that was hot the first time you saw it. The second night on Raw, it was like, okay, that was still kind of hot a little bit. The third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, eighth, time, it's like, okay, I don't want to see that no more.
He does it every match. It's like his
okay, and it's the same thing. Roman Reigns, the spear that he hit on Big Show last Monday, yo, that was like the best spear ever. Goldberg, who else did the spear? Edge. That was the best spear I've ever seen because he literally flew like maybe 2 feet in the air when he tackled Big Show. That was like the best spear ever. So now this week, they're going to try to recapture it again. Oh, let's do that again. Stop. You can't do that. You can't sit there and try to push something on us and then expect the same result. That's called idiocy.
Well, I just want to bring up that point again about Dolph Ziggler. Did you notice last night when his music he was coming out for his match with Bray Wyatt, no one wasn't really cheering? And I'm thinking, okay, he got hired back about a month ago after he was fired, where he was gone for 2 weeks
because they tried to get Daniel Bryan over.
It's literally like Dolph Ziggler has to start over now.
Okay, and look at what he did. I'm gonna tweet Dolph Ziggler. Yo, what did you do? And I'm gonna tweet him. Hopefully, I get a reply. What did you do that you're on the back burner now when you stole the show for 8 months? That's what's going. Matter of fact, where's my phone at? I'm gonna send this tweet to Dolph right now. What did you do that you're on? Because hold on, when after the Rumble, and I said it, the WWE posted on Facebook, better luck next year, Dolph, and like within 15 minutes, it got like 1,500 comments. Not even probably maybe 100 likes or whatever or something like that. But it was 1,500 comments killing WWE. How are you going to say this about Dolph? I even commented, and when I went to go back to read other people's comments, they had took the post down because they realized, oh, wait a minute, people didn't like that because it's not fair to what the guy's doing. The guy, where's his reward for what he did? If it wasn't for Dolph Ziggler, the WWE would have been in trouble during the summer. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns got hurt. It was Dolph Ziggler. You gave him a spotlight at Survivor Series. And you haven't done nothing with him since. That's just ridiculous. That's the kind of stuff that makes me mad.
He won the Intercontinental Championship a couple times this year. So
okay, that's the IC title. Everyone said that what they gonna do, push him back to the IC title now or whatever. He did his little battle with the Miz and everything, and now
Luke Harper
and his match with Luke Harper, they were good matches. Now, please, I would rather him see him go up against Rusev.
Well,
versus because they don't got anything for him.
All right, so Raw starts off with Roman Reigns in the ring talking about how he did beat Daniel Bryan at Fastlane to become #1 contender for Brock Lesnar at the WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan comes out, says he's a better wrestler. Now, here's the thing: when he said that, he actually got some boos. And I think the W Universe is trying to decide who they want to be face Brock Lesnar. They're kind of siding with Daniel Bryan, but they're also like, hey, let's give Roman Reigns a shot because we gave Daniel Bryan a shot. It's his turn now. So, I mean, you have to remember last year in December, they made Roman Reigns Superstar of the Year. So, it's kind of unfair for them to be booing him regardless of everything that happened. But, nonetheless, so the Authority comes out, books a tag team match against Kane and Big Show. It ended, I think, in a no disqualification or something like that. Ended in a disqualification. Daniel Bryan kicks Roman Reigns in the face. And they start to have a little mismatch. So now it's a 5-on-2 match in the main event.
Hold up. I don't like where they're going with this.
The focus of the night, by the way, was the tension between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Alright, so then...
Hold on. I don't like where they're going because it looks like they're going to try to push Roman Reigns to the heel status. Kind of like how they did Batista last year. Batista was supposed to come back as a face.
He didn't want to come back as a face. And CM Punk even say he wasn't supposed to come back as a face.
Okay. Whether or not he was coming back as a face, but the fans turned on him because of Daniel Bryan. Yeah. So here they go repeating, oh, well, Roman Reigns, he's a face. Let's the fans turn on him because the fans wanted Daniel Bryan. But again, if you would have gave them Daniel Bryan, and it wasn't the fact that Daniel Bryan lost, it's the fact that he got put out early. If you had the Final Four with him, Ziggler, Rusev, Seth Rollins, even if I don't even know if he was in it, I don't know, he wasn't in it, but Rusev, Ambrose, Reigns. And Reigns and Big Show and Kane and stuff in there. If you had no final and he got out then or whatever, or close to the last four or whatever, I mean, people would have been like booing, but it wouldn't have been so bad when Roman Reigns won. It's just the way they put him out. So I think that they're going to try to make Roman Reigns go heel, which I think the stupid thing about it is you got to stop with the good guy, bad guy thing. That's over. Even though you're not going with the characters anymore and it's kind of cartoonish, you're still going with the cartoonish theme. Oh, good guy versus bad guy. Guy in the white hat versus guy in the black hat. Indians versus cowboys. Come on, cops versus robbers. You can't keep doing that because it doesn't sell anymore. It doesn't sell anymore.
Alright, so it was Seth Rollins versus Ryback. I don't know what the point of the match was because he got... Ryback won by disqualification because of J&J Security interfering after Ryback almost hit Seth Rollins with shell shock. Alright, so then we had Brie versus Paige won. Alright, so then Rusev and John Cena. Rusev and Lana played a video of John Cena's career, making fun of him, whatever. Cena comes out and I think he's got something wrong with his eye. I don't know if it's real or not. No, it's real. He got something wrong with his eye, but Rusev poked him in the eye, and so he might not be at Fastlane, or he might not. But they will be having the match at like WrestleMania. So, and it's for the
somebody cracked him in the face. I haven't seen it. What happened to his black eye? He must have been running off his mouth, or Bree slapped him, or whatever. But again, I'm not even excited about the John Cena Rusev thing because he comes down and he's just so unbelievable. I just can't take him seriously that he's really fighting for America. I can't take him seriously that he's really fighting he's really fighting for the fans. And I can't really take him serious that he's really trying to go after Rusev. Come on, they're trying to sell it.
They have to say not one thing about USA and Russia. This is just a match between Rusev and John Cena for the United States Championship. It has nothing to do with the USA. They have not mentioned not one thing about it. Because that is old. Because every time someone faces Rusev, it's always got to be about the United States. And I know because he's anti-American, but still. Alright, so then Dolph Ziggler versus Bray Wyatt. Again, Dolph Ziggler got no pop coming down to the ring. It's like, they're like, oh, hey, Dolph Ziggler's coming out. Alright, cool.
Are you sure? Because I didn't see the same thing. He got a nice pop, I thought.
I mean, people were cheering, but it's not like cheering when Daniel Bryan comes out. Because before Daniel Bryan was hurt, when he was hurt,
Daniel Bryan didn't get all that. He gets, Daniel Bryan, yeah. And you got and you got people over here, and you got people over there, you got people up here, you got people over there. It's not any unison that when he comes out, everyone's saying yes. You got sporadic yes, and then you still got people just whatever.
No, I mean like back when Daniel Bryan was like, and everybody was just that's when he was hurt. Everybody was cheering for Dolph Ziggler. Last night, everybody was not cheering. It wasn't until in the match. And Dolph Ziggler hit the famouser and a super kick that they were kind of like, oh, this is awesome. Because Bray Wyatt kicked out and then hit that clothesline that pretty much took Dolph Ziggler out the match. Again, making Bray Wyatt look strong for the Undertaker if he decides to come and have this match. Alright, so Brock and Paul Heyman there, living a promo saying that whoever wins at Fastlane, they're not going to beat Brock Lesnar.
Thank God for Paul Heyman. That's all I got to say in reference to that.
Alright, then it was a New Day versus Golden Stardust.
Who cares?
Alright.
Because Goldust is leaving. New Day is dumb. Cody's retarded. I'm sorry. The whole... That's just stupid.
I told you he's trying to...
He's gonna get strep throat doing that all the time.
Alright, so the Triple H promo with him calling out Sting, obviously Sting was not there last night, but the whole...
Yeah, the guy that got in the ring, you knew that wasn't Sting. Sting is bald, coming up right in this area right here. That person had a head full of hair.
Well, anyway, he was kind of... I don't know, did Sting do this in WCW? Because he looked like he was kind of just doing Taker stuff. Where lights would go off,
he kind of did that, where like the whole crow thing up in the rafters and whatever.
Because that's he's pretty much doing like that's what Taker does. Lights go out, he's there. Lights go out, then he's over there, and then he's in the ring and everything like that. So basically, he accepted it. And we'll see Sting and Fastlane for them to set up their match at WrestleMania. All right, so then the Usos lost to Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, so they'll probably be a tag team match.
Obviously, Cesaro is still in the bag because they're putting him in with. I mean, what's the point of putting a guy with Jack Swagger? And they actually were a popular tag team. Only that
Cesaro was popular.
He was still, but the music hit. You liked it. So, and now all of a sudden, they're no longer popular. Let's take it away, and it's all over and done with now. So he was on his way up, and then all of a sudden he spoke out against John Cena, and now let's put him back in a tag team. He may get a title shot, and it looks like it's heading that way. But the matches, I'm going to say, hasn't been half as good as the Usos versus the Wyatt family. Hasn't been half as good. I even give them, it hasn't been as good as the Usos versus Miz and Mizdow.
Alright, so after the match, we found out that Rikishi's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So
I like Rikishi, but I don't think he deserves the Hall of Fame. Not yet, anyway. I think there's more guys out there that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame over Rikishi. I'm sorry. I don't think he's done that much. There's a bunch of guys. Like, how come a lot of the guys from WCW aren't getting inducted into the...
well, Sting's in the TNA Hall of Fame, so...
So, I mean, they're not being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. If you bought the company of WCW, you bought the company of ECW, you bought the company of UWF, you bought the company of AWA, you bought just about every wrestling... company there is that was ever on national TV, and those were all wrestling shows that were on national TV. Why aren't those guys being inducted into the Hall of Fame? I think Lex Luger deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think Barry Windham deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think Dusty's already in there because he's with the company. But Nikita Koloff, the Rock and Roll Express, Jim Cornette, the Midnight Express, those guys, Harlem Heat, they deserve, the tag team deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. So I mean, there's a bunch of guys that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame that was in WCW. I don't think it's fair. Would you put those guys over Rikishi? Yeah, I would.
All right, maybe later down the road, but they're going with guys who everyone knows. Or I'm not saying they don't know though. I'm not saying they don't know.
They always put like one old guy.
All right, so then you had Sin Cara versus Damien Mizdow. Damien Mizdow lost because of the Miz. Again, I know we all know they're gonna break up, but again, should their match really happen at WrestleMania? Is that really like a match? Maybe the pre-show. But is that a match really worth WrestleMania?
Obviously, it's gonna have. And I don't think it's gonna be a WrestleMania match. It'll be a Fastlane match where they break up. But my question is what I said from the beginning: do you like Damien Mizdow without the Miz? Without the Miz, what is he? Well, you liked him because he was doing the antics and he was funny on some of them. But without the Miz, how much is he? And it's obviously my point is being proven with Harper and Rowan. Who really likes Rowan? Harper is still kind of weird, but nobody's really following Rowan. They needed to stay the Wyatt family. The Mizdow, I don't think he can survive without the Miz. I don't think he's gonna become this single competitor that's gonna be great. Yeah, Stone Cold gave him a great push or accolades that he's got skills. Granted, he can wrestle, but if the only way I can see him succeeding is if he stays as Mizdow and he uses Miz's moves and stuff like that, and comes down on Miz's music or whatever.
Well,
but other than that,
Miz be his assistant or something.
No, that ain't gonna work. The Miz will be still Miz, and he'll just be Mizdow.
Well, it's kind of a shame really because pretty much everyone who's partnered up with the Miz has always kind of exceeded him. Like think back when it was Miz and John Morrison. John Morrison is gone. Miz rose up. Big Show doesn't really count. Let's see, who else did he put? Alex Riley. He's doing pre-shows now. So Daniel Bryan. He's WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I think it's in the closet.
No, it ain't.
All right, so we'll see what happens with Mizdow after their match. All right, so then Dean Ambrose versus Curtis Axel again.
Who cares? I don't even want to talk about it because. This is another one.
The Intercontinental match will happen at Fastlane.
I understand it's going to happen, but I don't want to see Dean Ambrose and Curtis Axel. Him coming out. What's the chant that he's doing?
Axelmania.
Axelmania. That's stupid. He's trying to get something started. It's stupid. And
like JBL said, he's been in the Royal Rumble for 3 weeks now.
The fact that Dean Ambrose had an excellent run with Seth Rollins. His run with Bray was alright, pretty good. But he's lost steam. He's no longer.
I think that's what being Intercontinental Champion will help him do.
I don't think it's going to help rise him up. I think you got to put him with the right character. Again, why not have Dean go against John Cena? Come on, we want to see that. We don't want to see John Cena versus Rusev. Who cares?
All right. So then it was the 5-on-2 match again. It was just focused on Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. They jumped him before the match, knocked out Roman Reigns.
And obviously you're going to have some type of 5-man battle thing at Fastlane between whatever.
6-man.
You're going to have that. You're guaranteed to have that because of it. And how many times are they going to replay the Royal Rumble, guys, again? I mean, what did Ryback do? That now he doesn't get a title shot at Rusev. He doesn't get a main status at Rusev.
It took him 10 years to get to WWE, so it's gonna take him about 10 years to win the title.
It shouldn't.
Cause I mean,
it shouldn't. No, they went wrong with Ryback. The boy was riding on an unbelievable wave.
He should have a title,
and he should have got a title when they made him heel. That's what did him in because he wasn't a heel. No, but they made him heel.
Yeah.
When he feuded with Cena, he was with heel. I don't care about you fans. No, you don't do that. The man, when he came in, he gave Cena the show shot. Everybody jumped up and more. Yes, we want to see this because we don't like John Cena. But then the next week you make him go heel. Forget Cena, forget you. I don't need you. Then everybody's boring. Ever since then, now it's
now they're back with him.
Yeah,
now.
It's the way they went with it. It was stupid. It was stupid.
He was on his way to winning the United States Championship. Now John Cena will now be the United States Champion, which I've heard that people are saying, you know, John Cena is the main event guy. Why is he going to be United States Champion? But then again, people are saying that it might bring prestigiousness back to the United States Championship because
not with John Cena as it. Because again, who cares?
I mean, will he keep the belt as it is, or will he turn it back into his little spin belt? I don't know. Maybe. But, yeah, so after the match, Roman Reigns tagged himself in to take out J&J Security, speared him for the win. After the match, he speared Daniel Bryan because he pushed him. And they were getting into a little tension. Roman Reigns got booed. So, again, you can feel that they're trying to turn Roman Reigns heel, but I don't want them to turn. Again, I don't want him to turn heel. He should stay a face. But at WrestleMania, it's going to be a triple threat because of Daniel Bryan. But Roman Reigns will win. And then apparently, oh yeah, so Seth Rollins may not actually cash in. I've heard he might not actually cash in his Money in the Bank successfully. He might lose, like Cena and Mizdow.
Who is?
Seth Rollins.
You know he's gonna cash. No, hold on. If he does what
he's gonna cash in at WrestleMania, that's what I've been hearing.
I'm fine with that. I would have been fine with even Undertaker beating Brock for the title. Seth Rollins comes in and steals and wins the title. That would have been good because Tate would have won it. We would have been excited, and then he would have lost it. We came on that Raw next week and retired. I would have been cool with that. Well, I don't mind. Is Seth Rollins in line for a title? I don't really think that he is.
I think he proved it in that triple threat. He proved that he was going to be the main event.
He proved that it was a good match. All three. I even give John Cena. Actually, John Cena really didn't play a big part in that for me.
Just take your credit back from Cena.
No. I said it was a good match, but I don't.
Yeah, you said it was a good match. I give props to all things. Then you say, "Oh, Cena didn't really do anything."
He did. If you look at the match, Seth Rollins and Brock had a good match. Cena had an okay match. So I'm throwing him in there. It was okay as a triple threat, but the two main competitors that put on the show was Brock and Seth.
Brock was out half the match. It was mostly Cena and Rollins.
Not really. You didn't watch the same match I watched.
Oh, anyway, I'm saying
he was probably thinking long and hard again.
Well, I'm saying Seth Rollins might not cash in successfully because
hard and long.
His Instagram and Twitter
full-time, part-time
account
overtime
got hacked, and some new pictures were posted on his account and stuff like that. So
Seth Rollins posted naked pictures.
No, someone hacked his account.
Nobody want to hear about that. Why are you telling us all about that? No, nobody. I don't.
Because nobody. His cash in that we all think he's gonna do it may not happen.
Who cares? I don't care about him. You ain't got. Didn't say that. Why? Somebody brought some naked pictures of him. Nobody want to know about that, man.
I was just saying, you might know what would be the reason why he would not catch it successfully.
Who on here cares that Seth Rollins was naked on Twitter? I don't. Nobody here.
It's big news.
It's big news.
People was talking about it.
Are you trying to tell me something? Seth Rollins naked and that's big news to you.
No, people were talking about it.
What? You thought long and hard about it?
Before Raw started.
He was naked. I just don't know what to say, child. I'm just telling you that he was naked and whoo, I think he broke the internet here. Whoo, please. Nobody want to hear about that.
Alright, but I do have one thing for y'all. If for those people out there who do watch this, prove him wrong and tell him that Taker deserves one last match, whether there's no streak or not.
Taker does
prove
not.
Prove him wrong. Taker deserves one last match.
No, he doesn't.
He deserves. He's Undertaker.
He's gonna go.
He deserves one last match.
No, he doesn't. If it didn't go the way that it did, and him redeeming himself, because think about it. What did Vince say? Vince said he loves the company and he'll put the company first because that's what he does. He's always done it for 35 years in the company, and he would do that. Yeah. That's why when I said that, I think it's a good thing, it's best for business for doing it, and he did it. You mean to tell me him not winning it would not be best for business? Please, you think that Hogan versus The Rock, when The Rock challenged Hogan, bam, when The Rock came back and challenged John Cena, bam, when Daniel Bryan won, that type of eruption, if Take One at WrestleMania against Brock, please, that is the ultimate way to go out. Even if he lose right after it, the fact that he won is how you want him to go out. Not coming back to take a match that's meaningless. It's meaningless for him to come back, face anybody. Brock Lesnar, Sting is like, maybe, but I don't care. I don't want to see it. Please. I know what I like when it comes to wrestling, and I don't think you bring Take back. I think you disgrace him for bringing him back to face Bray Wyatt. To put Bray Wyatt over, he put Brock over. He doesn't need to put Bray Wyatt over. Bray Wyatt put himself over with his skills and his in-ring ability.
Taker does what's best for business. So if Taker comes back and put Bray Wyatt over,
then he needs to tell what he's gonna do. Then he needs to go the way of CM Punk. No, I ain't doing it. He needs to go the way of Stone Cold. No, I ain't doing it. What they gonna do? Fine him? You fired? What?
He does what's best for business.
Please.
But again, if it was him versus Sting, yeah, because it's kind of back like when Ric Flair came into WWE for the first time and they were kind of teasing between him and Hulk Hogan, but they didn't do it. That's what they were going for.
They had a match. I think it was tag team. But I'm trying to think. I think they had a match. I can't remember.
They did, but it was in WCW.
No, I'm talking about when he was in WWE when he first came. No, I think Hulk got hurt. And something happened, but they fought in a tag team match, but not one-on-one that we really wanted to see. But anyway, Seth Rollins naked. What's wrong with you?
But yeah,
coming here with that man.
Tell everybody, taking one last match. Again, I know we want him to get revenge against Brock. He deserves it.
No,
but
no.
At the end of the day, it's your decision.
No,
it's his decision.
No,
about coming back.
What's his real name again?
Mark Calloway.
Danny Spivey.
Mark Calloway.
It's Danny Spivey. I'm telling you, his real name is Danny Spivey. That's the Undertaker. Let's see. The Undertaker, Danny Spivey. See? Danny Spivey. Man, Danny Spivey is old, boy. Look at him. He looked like a broke Stone Cold Steve Austin. Jeez. See? That's the Undertaker right there. With Teddy Long and Sid Vicious, or Psycho Sid. Who was the Undertaker? Danny Spivey. Yeah! Anyway, so that's it for talking about wrestling. What?
You say yeah.
I didn't watch Lucha Underground. I didn't watch TNA. I think the last time I tried to watch TNA, they still doing the same stupid things. They're giving guys too much mic time that don't have mic skills. Yeah, matter of fact, it was a briefcase and who was going to be fired or whatever. It was just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And
like a dumb version of the Money in the Bank.
It was actually dumb. So I kind of like turned it after watching 5 minutes, whatever. It's just you give guys who don't have mic skills the mic. And it's just like people in there talking, chatting, tweeting, doing everything, eating other than paying attention to what's going on in the ring. So, for Stephen J. and for Simply Steve, we are done talking about wrestling. Peace.
Like Christian said,
man,
more match
talking
with Undertaker.
Damn naked. What's wrong with you?